Welcome, Wapham crew, friends, fiends, foes, horror fanatics, and fiends. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, September 2nd, Sunday, September 3rd, for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. We are being broadcast all over the world right now. I would name off all these places, but the list just keeps getting longer and longer. But to me, it's very intriguing, so I'm just like, I want to share this, but I won't, because it takes a bit of time. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and I'm super excited to be here tonight. We are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse. Thank you so much once again for joining us this evening. I hope you've had an awesome Labor Day weekend so far. We've had a lot of, overhanging of clouds and such, so it's kind of hot and muggy. Even though it's cloudy, I think it's the humidity in the air that is causing it to feel so. If you're listening to us live right now, you may be listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find on KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com. You may also find us on eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio, as well as Facebook under We Are Paradox Media, YouTube under We Are Paradox Media, and Twitch under We Are Paradox Media. If you want to listen to us in your free time, whether you're working it or working out, just check us out under any venue that you generally listen to. We've basically got all the bases covered, even bases that I haven't even heard of before. So tonight I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we will be talking to and getting to know Mr. William Pattison. So as Eric Morris, author William Pattison, wrote the Camp Crystal Lake novel series for Berkeley Books, published in 1993 through 1994. These books include novels Mother's Day, Jason's Curse, The Carnival, and Road Trip. Fifth Camp Crystal Lake novel, The Mask of Jason Voorhees, which he web published for his fans. In 2014, he published The Traveler, A Conflict of Interest, science fiction, and A Psychotic State, the novel horror splatter punk, through Linkville Press. In 2018, he started his own publishing house, WCP Enterprises Publishing, and reprinted Psychotic State, the novel, and The Traveler. He also has published two novels by Christopher Hyland, The Witch and the Prince, and The Path Never Taken, through WCP Enterprises. He is currently writing a 6-part anthology titled Symphony of Death. As Eric Morris, he was mentioned in the second printing of the book Crystal Lake Memories by Peter Brack. Or is it Brake? I'm not sure. Also, he worked as an executive consultant on an independent film adaptation of his novel Friday the 13th, Mother's Day. He worked as executive consultant and screenwriter on an independent horror anthology film titled The Horror Seasons. He also worked with screenwriter Matt Mosley. Hold on, it just closed down on me. Let me find my place really quick. On the script for the slasher film Sparrow. Currently, he works with co-host Christopher Hyland and Mary Maddox, aka Nurse Hatcheton, the podcast Full Spectrum Horror. He also has his own podcast as well, An Awakening of Horror. He was also the executive consultant on the film in Derek Young's film Midnight Matinee Psycho. He plays the role of a reporter at the beginning of the film. He is also credited as associated producer, contributing writer, and unit director on that film as well. He will be bringing back his reporter character in Derek Young's film Psychotic State. He will also be playing a part in Derek Young's next film, Josie. Super excited to see it. Well, welcome, Mr. Pattison, aka Agent Willis. I'm so excited to have you on, and to learn more about all the shenanigans you've been up to. How have you been?
Gorin scares everybody. Doing pretty good. Yeah. How do you like my new shirt that I got?
I like it. We're
I
kind of
look like
matching.
Thunder Lips, the ultimate male in this. Anyways, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Unfortunately, Full Spectrum Horror is no more.
Aw.
And I am currently doing another podcast by myself called Bloodbath Beyond Podcast, where I discuss films and do reviews on horror merchandise and do Shout Factory releases and reviews and all kinds of fun stuff.
Sounds like that could keep you quite busy.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, I do Bloodbath Theater, of course. You love Bloodbath Theater.
Love
My
it.
double feature horror host show, which I host with my horror host Skull John. And currently, in regard to writing, I'm working on a prologue for Symphony of Death Part 5, which takes, this prologue takes place in hell
Ooh,
and deals with an agreement between heaven, death, and hell, which
well,
has implications in regard to the events in Symphony of Death. As well, I am doing a couple of other stories. Well, actually, 3 stories right now featuring a new character that I'm starting out with, a paranormal detective named Devlin Dark.
ooh,
And currently I'm working on a story, some stories. One is called Death in the Family. The other one is called The Dog Day. And the final one that I just started uh, a couple weeks ago is called, keeping busy.
so it was called what? You kind of broke up there for a second.
Oh, In a Day's Work.
Oh, okay.
That one is going to be hilarious because it's you'll appreciate this one. It's an older Devlin Dark. This one takes place 30 years after the last story that I worked on. And the thing is that he's doing a house cleansing on a Ken and Barbie couple.
Oh no.
And
Mhm.
he has to deal with a demon in that. And it's just the way that he handles the demon. It's funny because he sits there and he goes, the demon's going, "Oh, I know you, Devlin Dark, and I bet you're wondering what my name is." And he goes, "Oh, no, I know your name. Your name's Spanky the Demon."
So is that after like Spanky the what do they call that? Puppet or whatnot? Which ventriloquist used? Like Spanky looks kind of like what's his name?
Oh, there's
The
been a number of Spankies, but this is just an insult to the demon because Devlin don't give a shit. He literally doesn't. I mean, he's very snarky character. He's got a toilet mouth, and yet the thing is that he works for the Vatican,
oh wow.
and he absolutely hates the Vatican, but he's stuck because years ago he got possessed by a demon, and the demon killed his paranormal crew. And what happened is that Devlin managed to exorcise the demon totally on his own from inside his own body. And it's supposedly such a rare thing that, the demon ended up killing him, but an angel resurrected him and gave him an opportunity to go to that if he cleanses his soul, which is corrupted by, being possessed by this demon. If he cleanses his soul by fighting demons, he will be able to go to heaven. And also the paranormal team that he murdered, they're stuck between heaven and hell. And if he cleanses his soul, he can free them and they can go to heaven too.
So are they stuck because, like, the death happened so quickly they just didn't realize they were dead? Because of adrenaline pumping, they're running away and they died so quickly? Or is it something else, like a
Partially that
soul
and
collector?
partially that and partially because they were murdered by a demon. So their souls are stuck and their souls are actually connected to him. And the thing is that what ends up happening is that his former girlfriend, who the demon tricked into hanging herself, committing suicide, she becomes Devlin's guide.
Oh, wow.
And then the thing is, he's also stuck to a rather nasty angel named Vernon.
Oh,
He's a bald guy in a white suit with wings, and he's very droll, oh well, I'm only here to assist you with defeating demons. I'm not here to be your friend or be your assistant. And so he has trouble with Vernon all the time.
me too.
And I've got it planned that well, the thing is, you find out later on in the series that Vernon used to be a watcher. He was a watcher, and you probably know what happened to the watchers, right? The watchers were former members of Lucifer's army that bowed down to God after the war for heaven, and they were given the task of watching over humanity. But the thing is, what ends up happening is they find human women interesting, so they end up having sexual relations with humans, and they create the Nephilim.
Yeah, and
which
that's
are
what I was gonna
giant
say is, like,
humans.
they're watching and they're seeing all these things, progress as far as eating. I'm not sure if Nephilim or angels are able to eat. They're seeing sexual activity. They're seeing the human form. All these different things. They have to be tempted,
Oh
because
yeah,
they're in this realm where there's temptation that abounds. And so I could see them falling off of, their perch and doing some things and
yeah.
creating some giants.
But Vernon was not one of the ones that were tempted. But the Watchers, they also taught humanity the art of war and taught them to question God. So the ones that transgressed, they got sent to hell, along with to join the rest of Lucifer's troops.
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually the Watchers and them corrupting the human bloodline with the Nephilim that caused the Great Flood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is a fact. This is in Jewish literature.
Well, and I do
The
believe that,
Jewish Torah and stuff.
Nephilim, which are known as giants, etc., they do exist. Like, there's been proof shown as far as skeletal remains, even though the certain, place hides them, whether it be, the Catholics or the certain, scientific place. These things are hidden from
Mm-hmm.
us, and it's like they don't want us to know the truth. Why? Like, I think we'd be better and wiser if we did know the truth, but I think it's a sense of controlling us, because if we know everything or we know most things, it's going to be hard to control us.
Yeah, and the thing is that knowledge is dangerous for a lot of these people. I mean, shit, you got the Telemasca that are keep hiding things and stuff, and the Illuminati and all these freaky bunches.
Definitely freaky.
So,
Why you gotta be so secretive with your freakiness? Let your freak fire burn.
oh yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So that's what I'm working on. I mean, I've got the other story. I have the Dog Day is where Devlin is stuck in a town because his brother, who is his driver, and he's also a mage, he gets beat up by some neo-Nazi guys because he's gay.
What?
And he's put in the hospital. And Devlin, oh, you're going to love this. Devlin is stuck in this Bible Belt town called Hope. And he's stuck in a ghetto apartment building called the Imperial Palace. And one of his old friends from college, this big fat guy who lives with his mom, he's in the apartment below him, and he and his mom end up, they've got a spirit in their apartment, and it's a spirit of an unfortunate pit bull that was murdered by its master. And the thing is that blows up, and Devlin has to fix that.
So did this storyline
on top of everything else?
Did this storyline come about before your whole blow up with Pitbull, or this was pre-written and then all of a sudden it happened? Because it's funny how, like, if you think things or speak things,
I've been dealing.
Things can be put into action. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my niece has had 2 pit bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is a huge fan of pit bulls and parolees and stuff. So I've been dealing with a lot of pit bulls lately. And I just thought, okay, well, I had this idea for doing a different type of ghost story, and I wanted to do one on a ghost dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do one on a pit bull, and his name's going to be Nobby.
I like it.
Yeah, Nobby the pit bull. And yeah, I mean, his master is a sadistic bastard named Hugo Rabinovich.
Wow.
A Russian guy, and he literally beat this poor dog to death.
My goodness.
He beat him to death with a pipe wrench. So you know how hard a nice steel pipe wrench is?
Mm-hmm.
He literally smashed the poor dog's skull, and you know that a pit bull skull is extra thick.
Yeah, it's pretty.
just
Freaking dead.
imagine how, how bad that was. Basically shattering his skull.
Mm.
Yeah, kind of giving him the Negan treatment.
With Lucille.
From yeah,
From The
with
Walking Dead.
Lucille.
I'm wearing my Walking Dead shirt tonight. I almost didn't. I almost wore something else,
Oh,
but
nice.
I decided to. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got all kinds
Hmm.
of depictions within it. It's pretty nice. I like it. It's
Yeah,
comfy.
I just finished watching Walking Dead, Dead City.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that yet. What do you think?
Oh, that one is good. It has Negan in it,
I love Negan. Even
and
though like he was
and
like
in
the
a
bad guy and he did bad things, he's very charismatic and there's something about his personality. You know he was a good person at once, but there's something that turned him sour. And that's why he was the way he was. I think,
oh yeah,
really deep down under, he was a good guy, but different things happen to you that do change you in your course of life.
oh yeah. In this one, he's taking care of a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you find out that Negan, what he used to be, is a PE teacher.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was a PE teacher, and then he, you know, turned into what he was. But the story focuses on this one minion of Negan who has taken over New York City, and he is worse than Negan ever was. And God damn it, the one girl that Negan, her husband was the Asian guy that Negan,
Yes.
uh,
He bashed his head in the, yeah, in that little
yeah,
round circle.
bashed his head in along with that Scottish guy I really liked in that show.
Like, damn,
That nice red and Scottish. God
it's
damn
not
it!
Scottish, it's crap.
Yeah, Negan's crap. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one, and then I have the other story, which is about Devlin's niece, and the thing is that he has to go help her because his father had been killed by a a serial killer, and the thing is that his soul is stuck to his body, and Devlin's niece has the sight and she can see him, and he keeps coming to her, and he's in his dead state and stuff, and he's crawling on the floor and stuff.
Ooh, kind of
And
like
the
a
thing is
crawler.
that they have to help him before his body is cremated, or he'll be trapped uh, forever in that state. If the thing is that Devlin and his brother put a curse on him, and that's what's got him stuck to his body. So they have to
I
clear
know.
that up. He's doomed. And they
Ooh.
hate father. They hate their father because he was a complete and utter asshole.
Mm-hmm. That happens a lot.
And he used to brutalize Devlin's brother, Damon, because Damon was gay.
See,
Yes, all you
it
woke
makes
people, I have a gay character in my books. Isn't that exciting?
yes.
Yes.
Well, to me, it is because we all have gay characters in our life, and it's amazing like how many there are, and it's like for me. I'm not God. It's not my place to judge. Like, I love you no matter what. And so I love my family members. But then there's other members of the family that are like, oh, well, you're this way, so you're no longer a part of the family. And I just don't understand that. That to me does not make sense. Love is love, no matter what it is. Well, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
There's this
well,
new like maps or whatever thing, you know, mature individuals living on children and stuff. Like I don't agree with that sort of love, but if gay people or, adults want to love each other, I'm all good with it. And
oh, I'm fine. I'm fine with that stuff.
mhm,
I'm not up for the woke idea of the world. Because I believe in equality. I don't believe in woke where you victimize one group and take away from a group. Uh, and sit there and say that they're the root of all evil and that their race should die. And that's what the woke ones keep saying about white people,
oh
that
well,
we're responsible for all the evil. And it's like, excuse me?
why are you giving me all this credit?
No. No, there's assholes in every race
Exactly.
and every gender. So, don't just throw it on us.
Mm,
And stop taking stuff away from us. Like I just recently found out about an audiobook where they turned Sherlock Holmes into a black guy.
hmm. That's intriguing because I've seen so people turning different actors or actresses into black people using AI, and it's pretty interesting to see like how they look in both race and you know I still like them either way. It's pretty interesting and intriguing to see them, changing races, etc. Um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I
It's
mean, the
weird.
thing is that if you're dealing with a certain era in time, you should actually respect that time. And a lot of history in that they want to change history because of modern ideals. And the thing is that
Yes.
no, you learn from those eras. Yes, those eras had a lot of racism, but you learn from that. You don't
Mm-hmm.
just go, oh well, I don't like that, so I'm going to change it. So I'm going to put in this television series, I'm going to put a black guy with cornrows as a lead detective in Scotland Yard in 1800. It's like, give me a break.
Would not
No.
have happened. But
or
I
the
see.
or the Bridgerton thing with black socialites. There weren't any in those days,
Mm-hmm.
and they wouldn't be going to the grand balls and that. They would probably be the servants, serving the grand ball, but you wouldn't have them out there doing that. And of course, you have the situation, where they were where Jada Pickett Smith changed Cleopatra into a black woman,
I know.
and
So
it's
so
like
many people are so
no, and
upset
had
about that. And I can see her as a black woman, even though I know she's not. But to me, it's like intriguing to see the different references and stuff. I know she wasn't black. So for people to get
no,
upset
she
about
wasn't.
that,
She was Greek.
yeah. So for people to get
She was
upset about that,
literally Greek.
yeah. And she was beautiful, and she loved a diet of pickles. Um, but no, like all these different things, like people getting so upset about this. I want to say the smallest things, even though to some people it's the biggest thing. Your race or whatever is the biggest thing. But remember back in Shakespeare when men were playing women's parts? Like, Were women in an
Oh
uproar
yeah,
back then about that? Like, give me a break. Like, this is art. Let it be. And, look at a different, foundation or a different view of it. I think it's good for expanding the mind to see different things, but we all know Cleopatra wasn't black, but it's still beautiful to see it done. Um,
yeah.
so,
But the thing is, in that they made that out like it was a documentary, and that it was all facts, and
yeah,
that
which
is
it's
wrong.
not. Yeah.
Of course, I am looking forward to the new Cleopatra movie that's coming out with Wonder Woman playing Cleopatra,
Oh,
even though
yes.
we all know that Cleopatra wasn't that pretty. She was rather plain looking from all the paintings and stuff that you see of Cleopatra that were from the era. She had a very Ptolemy looking face
I think it was
because that's
her
the family.
I think it was her charisma that made her so attractive to everyone. So
Oh
she
yeah,
wasn't,
yeah.
yeah, she wasn't like, plainly beautiful as far as her looks, but it was her charisma and her, what do they call it? Confidence, all this other stuff that made her so
Oh
wanted,
yeah.
so beautiful.
And that's what attracted Julius Caesar, is the fact that she was brave enough to get into his palace in a rug,
Yeah,
and that
roll me
just
up in this rug, haul
horribly
me in.
impressed him.
He's like, you're devilishly keen. Let me get to know you a little better.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, this woke thing, also, I have friends that are gay and lesbians. And what gets me is their own LGBTQ community is turning on them.
I think
They're
it's just
turning on them. They're
it's the human
calling
condition.
like lesbian women. They're calling them bigots because they won't have sex with trans women.
Um,
And the ones that are sitting there, no, I don't like men, and I don't like men's genitals, and usually a trans woman has male genitalia. And it's like that's why I
right?
became
And a
a
certain
lesbian,
smell
is because
and a certain vibe.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And they're going, oh no, you're a bigot, and you're an enemy because you won't do this.
Hmm.
And and then they're putting these guys in women's prisons because they're sitting there saying, well, I reflect as a woman, and and they're
I don't know if you
raping
heard
women
recently,
prisoners.
even sororities. So, I just saw this article the other day about,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Did you see that with the guy in the
yeah.
dress? Oh, I love that one.
And they're like, we don't
And the
accept it.
women
And
are
they're
just
like,
in,
sorry, you have to. Otherwise, this is hate.
yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff I don't agree with.
Well, it is
I
scary
mean,
because what if and this has been the argument for a long time, what if somebody is pretending to be a woman just so they can get into these certain places? But to me, it's like, what if
exactly.
somebody doesn't feel comfortable in the body they were born in because, spirits just get thrown into willy-nilly bodies and they feel like I'm really a female and I'm put in this male body. So to me, like, there's this fine line. Like, there's the people that really feel that they're this way, and there's people trying to take advantage of the whole quota.
Yeah. Well, then they are perfectly free to change genders. But here's another thing that I agree with is wait until they're 18, when
Mm-hmm.
they're of legal age to make
Well,
that decision.
yeah, and I agree
Because
with,
I do not agree with these parents that are sitting there going, "Oh yes, well we're going to uh, give our kids hormone blockers
Mm-mm.
because because all of a sudden, oh well, they played with a doll once, so they're trans, so we're going to hormone blockers, and then we're going to cut parts off of them."
No, and I haven't seen the shows because I cannot watch it, but I've seen advertisements where it's like these kids saying a certain thing and the parents are against it or for it, and the teachers are like, or the counselor is like, this is how you feel, this is what you are, this is actually abuse, and you should be able to change yourself. No, and like you're saying, it should be at a certain age, because at an early age it's so confusing, even just to be a human being, to fit in. How do you know what you are, who you are, etc., until you get to a certain age? Yes, you have certain feelings, you
Yeah,
have certain questions, etc., but don't make any massive moves like cutting things off or adding
yeah,
things on,
because
or doing hormones.
yeah,
Like, that can really mess a person up.
yeah, because my friend Ariel, she does a podcast on gay and lesbian and trans and stuff, and she sees so many things where these kids are retransitioning, and now they can't have kids. Now they're all fucked up. Their metabolisms and everything are all messed up because they've been on hormone blockers and stuff, and they've pretty much ruined their own lives by doing this because of the way that society is playing them. I mean, one of the biggest problems that I can see is that kids nowadays, they've been, this generation, all they've had like and yes, this is the old complaint that video games have ruined kids,
Oh,
but they've spent their childhoods playing RPGs where they can customize their characters, they can change their genders and all that. And
mhm.
now they think, "Oh yeah, well, that's the way the world works." And yeah, we can be, my gender can actually be demon fairy.
That'd be
And
interesting.
people have to accept that because that's what I say, and I can customize myself. I can make myself a man or a woman, and I can have purple hair, and I can wear a cat costume if I want, walking around town, and that, the whole furry movement and shit.
Hmm.
Oh God. Anyway, so
Hey,
yeah,
to everyone their
and
own.
yeah, everybody their own, and if you don't agree with me, you're my enemy. You can't not accept this. If you don't accept this, you're my enemy, and you're a bigot, and you're an asshole, and you're all this. You can't have an opinion of your own. You have to accept everything that I say.
Everything?
That's the way they are. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's the way they are. And my friend Ariel, she talks about this, and then also my other friend Sydney Watson, she's done a few shows on this, and some of this stuff as
I
well.
have to say,
So very, very interesting stuff.
it is. And I had a friend who had a daughter who felt like she wasn't female, she was male. And just like when my daughter came to me, I'm like, I love you no matter what, and I accept you, whatever, but I'm not pushing you to do anything. And she didn't either, but she was going for, gender equality as far as bathrooms and stuff like that goes. And eventually this kid grew out of it. But like you said, she wasn't pushing for hormones or physical changes and all this other stuff when you're too young to know what exactly you really, really want. But she's just giving her that support. that support system and allowing her to grow to be whatever she needs to be. Now she's back to being a beautiful young woman, but she did go through her phase and basically got over it.
Exactly.
But some people stay there, some people don't, and that's why you don't jump like long leaps. You know, do the little footholds or the little
Yeah.
rocks across the freaking river. Don't just go all
And
out. Be like, oh, this is what you want. Let's do this.
and then of course, we have these radical teachers as well who sit there and Ariel put up a video of this one teacher, and she had taken down the American flag and put up the rainbow flag and put up the Black Lives Matter flag. And the kids said, well, where are we supposed to do the Pledge of Allegiance? And she goes, well, you can choose one of these two flags to do it. That's okay, because I didn't want to have that other flag here. So it's perfectly fine for you to pledge allegiance to the rainbow flag.
Yeah, and that's a bit different
it's
too.
like, how dare you? This is the United States of America. You are a public school teacher, and you are going off your bounds.
Yeah, going overboard.
Just like this same teacher in another video said that, oh yeah, you can change your name and you can change your gender, and I'll call you by this gender, and we just won't tell your parents. We won't tell your parents, and you can't, and you don't talk to your parents about what we talk about, talking about girls and boys and that, and all this stuff. You just listen to me, and and you'll be good. And it's like, excuse me? And then she sat there and said on TikTok, oh, well, I don't have to tell the parents because the parents don't pay my paycheck. It's like, excuse me?
Isn't
parents' taxes pay for your damn paycheck?
I was about
to
say,
should be on the
their taxpayer dollars
then.
Yeah, it's their taxpayer dollars paying you. But yeah, they're in San Francisco. I believe there was a big hoopla where the staff of this school board had decided, if these kids decide they're a different gender than what they generally are, we'll accept that and we'll, help them out with that, but we won't tell the parents. Yeah, and it's because a lot of things came out during COVID as far as abuse and different things like that. So they're just trying to protect the kids. But at the same time, parents need to know. But at the same time, parents can beat your ass for that stuff. Like, it just really depends on belief systems and this and this and that and acceptance, etc. So I kind of see where they're coming from. But at the same time, parents need to know so they can help at home, because that's the main learning space is home, where you're growing up. But like I said, a lot of times it's not a good place. And the thing
is, it's their kids.
Yeah.
If my father, if they ever tried that shit with me and he found out, he'd put the damn teacher through the wall.
Take you out of school.
You don't mess with the kids. Those kids are, it's the family's legal responsibility to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But the government is sitting there saying, oh, well, you don't have the right to raise your kids the way that you want to raise them. Bullshit.
It's a crazy world we're
You're
living
the parent.
in.
You're the one that gave the kids birth. Until they're 18, they're yours. And no teacher, no paid servant of the school district has the right to deny the parents' information. That is wrong.
It's weird as far
unless they find out that the parents have been abusing the kid, then they go to a higher power about that.
And that's a hard place, because how do you really know? Like, kids show signs, but is it really a sign of abuse, or is it just a sign of, social anxiety or different other things, ADHD, ADD,
exactly,
other things that could be going on? How do you really tell?
And what gets me now is these ones are sitting there saying, "Oh no, you can't have an effeminate boy, or you can't have a tomboy girl. They have to be
as a tomboy,
transsexual." Oh, well, you're supposed to be a man now.
Oh, well, I have the biggest balls of any man I know.
Yeah, so they would sit there, if you were in school and you were a tomboy, they would try to push you to change your sex. That's the way that they're doing it now. You wouldn't there wouldn't be any ifs, ands, or buts, or I'm a tomboy. I like to play with the boys in sports and that, and I'm still a girl, but I'm like tougher things. I'm a tougher girl.
Okay, so like,
oh no, you're secretly a man, and you need to acknowledge that. You need to go and have gender correction surgery. That's what they do now.
That's not their decision, but yeah, I love playing with Hot Wheels and making tracks and stuff like that. But I also had Barbies and My Little Ponies, and I love going fishing and fixing my own hook and all this other stuff. And I didn't quite get like the whole makeup and hair thing. Like, I cut my hair off to this extent when I went into the Marine Corps, and it grew so fast I got in trouble 3 times within 3 months because it kept growing below my collar. So I kept getting in trouble for it because I didn't know how to make a bun. Now I know it's really freaking simple since I've been in the Marine Corps. But no, you can't just
they taught you the hard way.
Yeah, just because kids, like certain things and do certain things doesn't mean you should push them a certain way. And I know a lot of schools aren't doing that. They're just like, if somebody says they're he, she, or he, or whatever, like, there's so many nouns or pronouns or whatever the heck it is called. I was never good at English. Just be accepting. Don't be judgmental, and allow them to be who they are. Don't push them one way or another.
Exactly. And these ones were giving me shit about, why don't you have your pronouns up on Facebook, William?
I don't either.
Are you a bigot or something?
No, I'm open and I'm accepting, but I don't get it, so I'm not going to change my stuff. I'm a she. I always have been.
So I put my pronouns down. You want to hear what my pronoun is?
Mine would be she
now?
Demon.
Go F yourself. That's my pronoun. Go F yourself.
I like it.
It's like Gina Carano with her beep bop boop. So I've got a lot of them saying, "Oh my God, William's a bigot. William's this. William's that."
Maybe I should change mine to smart. None your damn business. So I'll put mine as none your damn.
Yeah. Just call me none your damn business. Yeah. That's me. None your damn business.
None your damn.
That's a good one. That's good,
and I
Tessa.
Promote this message.
Oh, that reminds me. We still got to talk about your commercial, Tessa.
Oh yes. I wonder if I can pull that up really quick. Because I was like, am I?
Oh my God. Yeah, people, because Tessa did a commercial.
I was like, am I being spammed right now? Like, what the heck is going on? Has William been hacked? So let me look this up really quick, because I didn't even look at it at first, and then I called you, And I was like, what the fuck? Have you been hacked? Because I've gotten different messages like that, and generally it's like a hacker thing.
Yeah, and it was like, oh no, that's I wanted you to see this because she looks just like you, and she's like, and it's like, oh my god, that reminds me of Tessa.
You're like, you did a commercial? I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Okay, let me pull this up really quick and then share screen so everybody can see this.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love it.
Hi, Barbie. Hi.
I love this one too.
Oh, let me go back really quick. Okay, let me go over here, share screen. Oh my goodness.
And more than likely, everybody's seen it, but they haven't made the Tessa connection.
Right? Share.
Oh my god.
Here we go. You guys ready for this?
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. In Barbie land, everything makes sense. But here in the real world, I'm always like, what is that? What is that? Thankfully, with the Google app, I can search it with Lens. Oh, a chihuahua. What up? It even helps me translate notes from my Canadian lover next door, Jean-Pierre. Stop stealing my parking spot. Like, why didn't you stop stealing my heart, boy? Well, that's my errands for the day. I need a jacuzzi. What is that? The Google app helps me find whatever color I need. And by whatever color, I mean pink. With Lenses' help, if you see something, you can search something with only seeing, like melted plant. These things need water. Ah! Thanks, Google. What's next? Put her in the movie. Who said that?
Thanks, William. Not how I water my plants.
Thanks, Google.
Not how I water my plants.
Thanks, Google. Oh, God.
And that was a freaking lizard, okay? A very healthy fat lizard.
Yeah. That's a chihuahua. God, I love that commercial. And I see it constantly, and it's like, oh my God.
Is that the black chair? Huh. Everything has to be pink. That reminds me of the girl I take care of. Everything that she has is pink. She has to have pink everywhere. I would feel like I was in a Pepto-Bismol commercial or something. Well, we do have to go to our first music break. Are you down?
Oh, I'm down to it.
All right. So on this break, we have Gravity with Throw You Away, as well as Take a Walk in My Shoes. Then we have Jeff Hilliard III with Consensual Sex Fan, as well as Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
for a ride in my consensual sex van. Let me take you far away from all this huff and puff. There will be nothing in between our love, like a pair of doves flying high above, where nothing can touch us, touching softly. Don't let me go, I won't let you go. This is eternity with me, baby. Do you wanna go for a ride in my consensual sex van? Do you wanna go for a ride in my consensual sex van? You don't have to be alone. Come with me. Magic, healthy laughter, boundaries, safe space, unknowing mutual consent, passion, happily we'll be bearing our souls, naked by the sea. We'll breathe the clean air. We'll be living, laughing, loving forever. Baby, do you wanna go for a ride in my consensual sex van? Do you wanna go for a ride in my consensual sex van? You don't have to be alone anymore. We will be together forever in love. Do you wanna go for a ride? Do you wanna go in my consensual? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Just get in the van.
So walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Well, don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? So walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Well, don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? Don't you take a walk? Well, don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do, don't you take a walk? Don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? Don't you take a walk? Don't you take a walk? In my shoes, don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. Don't you take a walk? Don't you take a walk? In my shoes, don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. This evening, we're joined by Mr. William Pattison. Welcome back, good sir. Hope you're having a wonderful evening.
Oh, God, you're going to love this, Tessa. While we were on break, my co-host, Mr. Highland, called me up, and he's like, "Oh my God, William, what are you doing? Why are you talking about that stuff?" And oh my God, you forgot to mention about my audiobook that you're editing. And I'm going, okay, I'll mention it. So anyways, yeah.
We still have 2 hours. Calm yourself. Yeah, even my
Yes,
daughter...
I know. Mr. Highland, calm down. And, I don't care. And the thing is, Mr. Highland, I don't care if I'm controversial. I love being controversial. I love having an opinion. But anyways, yeah, so I'm also working on an audiobook of the novelization of Teddy, which is the novelization of the film The Pit. And Mr. Highland's doing it. It's 26 chapters long. I've been working on it over a month, and it's driving me crazy because this is Mr. Highland's first novel narrations, and he doesn't know how to do narrations. Have you ever done a narration, Tessa?
Well, I do story time, so I do read books, but I have been thinking about going to audiology, or is that what it's called? Audiobooks or something
Audible?
like that. Audible, yeah. Where you read books, and I do that on my own during my show, so I'm like, might as well do it and make some money. Because I do that in my free time. I love to read, and I'm a pretty good narrator, I believe, so.
Yeah, well, when you're doing a narration, you have to edit it. Yeah, there's not one person that I know of that does it perfectly. Except, of course, for my former rest in peace mentor, Harlan Ellison, who never made a mistake when he narrated his own work. But the thing is that most narrators, if they make a mistake, what they have with them is they have a clicker, and they click it.
Oh, to pause
and then they
start?
go over the section, to mark the spot. And then what they do is they go forward, and what they do is they do the correction. And that way, when the editor comes in, they pull out the bad stuff and they leave in the corrected audio. Mr. Highland doesn't do this. He doesn't even give me any space between the mistakes. And he just reads on. So I'm sitting there.
To Let's Read at night to go to sleep, and sometimes he does a live. So he has some F-ups sometime, especially when he's going on like a long rant, like over 5 hours or whatever. Then he'll be like, cussing and stuff. And he's like, man, let me go back to where I was, blah, blah, blah. But generally it's like, perfect. Sometimes you hear him read something and then you hear a repeat of it. So I'm like, oh, well, he stopped. He thought he was starting here. He started again. He just repeated himself, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, but with Mr. Highland, he just continues on, doesn't correct it, and he'll sit there and he'll cough during a thing. So I'm sitting there trying to go through this thing, and all of a sudden you hear, and then he just continues on, and it's like,
Well, it's pretty awesome. Like I was telling you, like with this eTalk radio and this banana voice meter, I'm telling you, like, I can cough or I can blow my nose and stuff, and the mic doesn't pick it up. It's pretty intriguing. I'm like, how can it not pick it up? Because that's just as loud as my voice. but I guess it just
Yeah.
picks up on notations, like your voice notes going up and down instead of like, or whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, so I've been working on this over a month, and after I'm done, there's still going to be mistakes in it because some of the mistakes I can't fix. But
we're all human.
I'm going to put
so-
music on it and stuff, and I'll have it free on WCP Enterprises Publishing House.weebly.com.
Nice.
So people can listen to the book because the book is extremely hard to find. So Mr. Hyland just decided, oh yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and I like that too. Like before when I did story time, I just do it like with a blank background. But then I was like, I can add some music to the background. So when you have breaks, it's not silence. It's like dee 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 or whatever it is as far as the musical background, and you just keep reading and you can barely hear it as you're reading, but when you're quiet, it's there. So there's no silence. People hate that, I guess.
Yeah, my friend Boo Rhodes, who does Scary Story Time, she pre-records her stories, and what she does is she does an intro, and then she plays the story, and it has music and stuff and sound effects and all that. And I've done a few narrations myself, and I would literally be sitting there, do like a paragraph and, just do a paragraph at a time and stick them together. So it would be pretty good, narration form. And of course I had a clicker too. So every time I made a mistake, click. And count 1, 2, 3 in your head, and then redo it.
Well, you said you got some backlash during break. I did as well. Like I went to check on my eldest child in the house. So my eldest child is out of the house, but I still have my 19-year-old here, and I was telling her what we were doing, and she's like, "Why are you guys even talking about that?" And she's like, that's only 1%, only 1% of the community, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but there's so much stuff going on about that 1%, and perhaps that 1% is actually bigger. There's just not a lot of reports on it because people don't want that to be known. But this is really happening. And she was very upset about it. She's like, I can't believe you guys are talking about this right now. And so she let me know her poo-poo. She's like poo-pooing me, and I'm like, I get it, I understand, but there's more than 1% of people out there dealing with this, that are going through this with their parents, etc. And only perhaps 1% is reported. The rest of them are not, just like abuse. A lot of abuse is not reported. Some of it is. So
And the problem is that the media and everyone's making a big deal of it and overblowing a lot of this LGBTQ stuff, and really making it hard on everybody else. As I said, as people have been complaining about, these studios are going excessively woke, and they're losing money in this on all this woke stuff.
I know.
And I'm thinking,
is it woke or is it broke? Because I don't know.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Is that you're going broke. And the head of Disney doesn't seem to understand that, and his shareholders are starting to fight back on him because they are losing money. I mean, seriously, look at this. Just this year, Little Mermaid failed.
I love that movie.
Haunted Mansion failed.
Haunted Mansion just came out.
Yeah,
It's already filling. Because there was a Haunted
yeah,
Mansion before with Eddie Murphy. Now there's a new Haunted Mansion. And I was confused on that. I'm like, I already saw the Haunted Mansion. What the hell is
and
going on?
and the
Is
thing
this like some sort of
and the thing
Mandela effect?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, you already did a Haunted Mansion with a black family.
Hmm.
Why don't you do Mexican family or some other
Did you
family?
see
I
the
mean,
Blue
shoot.
Beetle?
Oh God, the taco jokes and all that.
Dude,
It's
with
going
Mr.
nuts.
Carlos
These
and
woke
shit.
ones
It
are
was
going
so
pissy
fucking
ass
funny.
about the fact that that these ones are recognizing the taco jokes and the stuff, and that
Well,
they're
not
and
just
these
that,
ones are
but like,
calling us all assholes. And it's like, excuse me, did you watch the movie? That movie is so stereotype, it's ridiculous. I
it's
mean, the main
it's fucking
character,
funny, and it
he
starts.
calls his car taco.
Yeah, you took the taco? No, but it was funny because like the way Mexican families are, it's insane. Like the support system and the way they're just together as a group and everything. Like, when he goes to do that job interview and they drop him off and they all get out and they're like, "Cojito, ah!" And they're like all screaming and clapping and like doing cheers for him and stuff. And he's like, yeah, they don't get out very often, because they're just going off and being really loud when he's just trying to walk into this building and do a job interview. But that's
Yeah,
how they are.
and
Like
the
they're
thing
very
is,
supportive and
I
very
have a
loving.
lot of friends who are Mexican, and you would never see them do that.
Oh
That
no. Oh
I'm
no. I
surprised.
have
I'm
family.
surprised they didn't have Uncle. He's sitting there. Oh yes, I'm Uncle Julio, and all this.
Well,
Doing
I
the
have
typical Mexican voice. Oh my God.
well, I have Mexican families too, and it's not like they were doing the Mexican voice, but it was like the support system, and that's how they are. Like even when they're in their kitchen, even when they're at the place where he's going for his interview and everything, together as a group, they're all excited and they're rooting for you, and that to me was cool. They're like, "Oh, he thought blah, blah, blah," and doing all these cheers and stuff. I can't remember exactly what they were, and he's looking around at these professionals, and he's like, they don't really get out a lot. And he's pretty embarrassed because he just came back from college. They're losing their home and everything. And they're supporting him. They're
Yeah,
like, go, go, go.
that's another stereotypical thing that, oh, Mexican family losing their house.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not
That's even
just
happening in
one or two
Hawaii right
things
now.
in that movie. It's everything mixed together and the thing is that I have a bunch of Mexican friends and they're going, what the fuck?
Oh,
Watching
maybe
this, and
their
it was
family's
like,
not like that.
no,
But I
no,
know a
no, no,
lot of
no.
families like that. And I was supposed to be godmother to, okay, my niece Chrissy. She was murdered by her husband, who was from Durango, Mexico. We live in Durango, Colorado. He murdered her and did certain things to her after she was dead. But I was supposed to adopt those children. They were supposed to be my godkids. And that was cut off because of, my old man. Because he's like, oh, well, I knew you were supposed to be godmother to them, but I didn't know what that entailed. What the hell do you think godmother means? That means if anything happens to her, she wants me to raise her kids because she knows how I am as a mother, and she wants that for her kids. But he killed that for me. But no, they're
Mm.
very supportive, very interactive, and it's to a point of embarrassment as far as like, yeah, they're cheering for him to go in and do this job and stuff. It's pretty funny. The one guy, Carlos, he was an actor or a comedian. What was his name? Oh man, I want to say Carlos Mencia, but it was.
Don't ask me. I'm on memory pills, and I
He's
have
been doing
trouble
comedy
remembering names right
forever.
now.
He just looks different because his nose is a lot bigger right now. But it was a
Mm.
really good movie. And he played a big part in it, even though it was here and there and everywhere. But yeah, the way that family was is the way a lot of the families that I know that are of Mexican heritage are. They're very supportive of each other. They're very active in their vocalization and everything. Like, to me, it was a really good movie, and the kids loved it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Blue
Well,
Beetle, you should go watch it.
the thing is, I mean, it's pretty sad also when we have an Indiana Jones fail, an Indiana Jones film fail.
Well, I think everybody was like, he's so old. How can this be a good movie? Right? But I still want to
No,
see it. I
no, it
haven't
was
gone and seen it. Have you
it
seen it?
had nothing to do with his age. What
What
it
was
had to
it?
do is that no, it was because they put that annoying woman in the film, and she was always degrading him all through the movie, and she ends up popping Indiana Jones in the face and knocking him out.
That was in an
They
earlier
were not
film?
happy. Huh?
Was that in
That
an
was in the
earlier
new
film?
movie.
Oh, shit. Really?
Huh?
I haven't seen it, so I don't
Yeah.
know. So it was in the
It's
new
the
one?
end of the movie. Indiana Jones, the thing is that he's kind of broken. He's broken up with Marion and that in his son's dead, and he ends up in the past, and he wants to stay in the past because he wants to experience the past.
Well,
He's
that's
been
the good old
shot,
days.
and the girl ends up, she clobbers him because she doesn't want him to change the past. He's convinced her because before she was one that was wanting to just use artifacts, to sell artifacts, and that she didn't care about history.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
It was like all
yeah,
about the
they make
money instead of the
Indiana.
history.
Yeah, they make Indiana Jones out like he's just this old broken down man
Yeah,
in
that's
the film.
ridiculous too, because Indiana Jones has been amazing through and through. I went on the ride at Disneyland. Yes, it took a long ways to go through this thing, and
Yeah,
it was really fun ride, really good. Like, why are they doing that? Like, it's a movie. You should make it more than what it is in real life, but maybe they're trying to get that human factor in there. Oh, you're old, so we're gonna make it to where you're old and decrepit and all this stuff. Like,
yeah, and the thing is that here he's got this time thing that he can go back in time, and he could easily have used it to go back in time and save his son.
yeah, that's what I do.
But he doesn't do that.
What
He
does he
doesn't
do?
do that. Um, the only thing that the Indiana Jones fans really liked was the beginning of the film, the first 20 minutes, when they were in the past and they had the younger Indiana Jones, where they went and they did digital effects on his face to make him look young.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, that one actually, and everyone, all the fans were sitting there bitching about that too. And I thought they did a fantastic job. I couldn't believe how well that turned out. The only thing is he still had they could have done a little bit of work on his voice, because he had a little bit of an old man voice,
Kind of raspy.
how the old man raspy
Yeah.
to it. But
Yeah, they
it
could
was
have fixed
good.
that.
It was good. I mean, Harrison Ford did good on the stunts for those scenes and stuff.
Well, and
It
Harrison
was
Ford is,
definitely Indiana Jones.
yeah, he's actually a hero in real life too. Did you hear about how he went and saved some people on a snowy hillside in his helicopter? Which you shouldn't be flying in those conditions, but he did, and he went up there and he saved some people. And they're like, "Oh my
Oh yeah.
God, it's actually
Well, Harrison's
Indiana
that type.
Jones." Yeah, he's
Harrison
awesome.
is really that type. I mean, he's a down to earth man, and well, that he sells furniture. He does his own hand done furniture
Ooh, I
in
didn't
his
know that.
home, and
But
he
I would buy
still
some.
owns the same home that he lived in when he was just starting out as an actor.
That's awesome.
Same house.
Awesome.
But anyways, I'll give people a recommendation for a movie though. And I was thinking it was going to be woke, but it wasn't. And that is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The one about Dracula, and it's taken from the one chapter of the book Dracula about the ship that brings Dracula to England.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a wonderful film. They did decide to make the main character a black guy, but they did it correctly. And the thing is that what he is he's a guy who had gone through medical school and stuff. He's a doctor, but he couldn't find work. And what ended up happening is that he had this opportunity. He was going to go to England to be the private physician of a lord. And he didn't have any money, so he got onto the Demeter as one of the crew, and they found out he was a doctor, so they had him as the ship's doctor too.
Oh, wow.
On it, but he's the one that has to deal with Dracula in the film.
Dracula.
But they did such a good job on this, and Dracula is scary as hell. The Dracula in this, because it's not human looking at all.
Yeah,
It's
does
got
it look
these
freaky?
fangs, and it's got the white eyes, and it's pointy ears and shit, and it's got wings.
So does it go back
God,
to Nosferatu or whatnot? Like it goes back to that?
Somewhat,
but not as
it
bad.
looks a lot. It looks a lot like. Remember Gary Oldman in Bram Stoker's Dracula, when Dracula is in Mina's room, and he turns into that bat thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of looks like, except that it's gray. And it's got more teeth. It's got like these
Yeah, it's scary.
dagger-like teeth.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's really good movie. I was incredibly impressed. Unfortunately, it failed in the box office too.
Yeah, I don't get that. And I think
It's
the
now
way,
on video
you
on
bestow
demand,
it and you
so
show it and whatever. Like as far as advertisements, you need to show the very best of the very best. You need to get people interested. Like Bram Stoker's Dracula. Everybody and their dog wanted to go see that one. So how come they couldn't reproduce that as far as advertisement? So is this
I don't know, because
is this the one with Nicolas Cage in it?
No, that's Renfield, and it's that's a
Renfield.
comedy. But that is
I
a
wanna see
good
that
film
one.
too.
I want to see that one.
I love Renfield. Renfield is really good, and Nick Cage is fantastic as Dracula. And this is coming from a guy who's seen every Dracula that's been on the screen.
Oh.
So you...
Yes, and it was so good. And
Oh
Vern,
my God, wasn't it?
Yeah, Vern, my
And
husband,
no
looked at
Ash
me and he's like,
Williams in it at all.
no, he's like, let's not let our kids watch this.
Except that he was. Except that Bruce
Wasn't he
Campbell
like for a
was
second or
in the
something?
film. No, the recording from The Priest.
Oh,
It was
yes.
Bruce Campbell who did the voice
Okay.
of the priest.
So he just didn't show,
in
but you
that
could
scene.
hear him.
And
gosh, that movie.
he was
Woo!
executive producer on that film.
It was such a good movie. I loved it. And it was like date night, and Vern's like, I know you want to see horror movies. What do you want to watch? And I'm like, we're going to watch this one. And we watched it. He didn't like it. I loved it. But he's like,
Yeah.
can we agree
Oh,
not to
I
let
got
not to
I
let
got
the
a
kids
really
watch
good
this?
Bruce Campbell story when you're finished reviewing.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Oh my God. I went to him to see him when he was doing a reading and signing copies of his book, The Chin That Took Over Hollywood.
Oh.
It's his autobiography. And so I went to San Francisco to this bookstore there, and line all the way down the road. And Bruce, what he would do is periodically he'd go running down the line and handing candy out to people.
Ooh,
and then run back and do like 20 more signatures and stuff. So anyways, when I finally got up there, I was there with some friends, and they already got their book signed because they got it ahead of me. And I come up to Bruce, and I'm going, oh my God, it's Bruce Campbell. I love you, Bruce. I loved you as a Tolocles. And he goes, he's looking at me like deer in the headlights, and he goes, it's Autolycus.
That's what I
meant. and I just go, I gotcha, Bruce. And he loved that. And he goes, oh yeah, you're lucky I didn't call for the security.
Security.
And so he wrote on my thing, he goes, good jokes there, William. Oh God. I love that. That is one of my favorite stories of that next to me and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the San Francisco County Center bathroom.
Come with me if you want to live. You're like, dude, I'm just taking
a
piss.
No. Oh my God. Yeah. The thing is that I was in a rush. I had gone through security because you have to go through security again to go from the the assessor's office. You have to go out, and they only got one bathroom, men's bathroom, like, and it's only got one stall. It's got one stall, and it has two urinals. So I go and I run past the guy in the gray suit because I really had to go.
Yeah.
And I run into the stall and lock it, and I'm sitting there about ready to go, and all of a sudden I hear boom, boom, boom. You asshole! You took asshole! My stole!
No, you asshole!
You took my stole! And I'm going, oh my God, Arnold?
Is that you?
Go, oh, Arnold, I'd shake your hand, but I'm a bit busy right now.
Yeah, I should wash them first.
And so I did my business. I walked out. He was standing there looking at me with this just disdain. And I go, it's all yours there, Arnold. And then I went and washed my hands, and he went in, asshole.
Like an asshole.
And I walked out.
You're like,
I love that.
Thank you for all your blessings of asshole.
Yeah, but that was the only time I've ever met Arnold Schwarzenegger, and if I ever,
I think he must really have a shit or something because he's like, asshole, you took my spot, you freaking asshole, and you're like, I was here first. Like, what's the problem? But he's like, I was God. I need to go first.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my way if you want to
Oh,
leave.
well. Oh, well, I have another bathroom story. Oh, my God.
I love bathroom stories.
This was at EpicCon. And the thing is that at the venue that we were at, the men's room, the stalls did not have doors.
Oh my gosh.
And there was 4 on one side, 4 on the other, right? And they were facing each other.
Yeah, like we're having a duel.
And I'm there, I'm sitting on the toilet and I look up and oh my fucking God, I'm looking over and God damn it, I can't remember his name now. He's the one that he was the lead actor in Nightbreed, the one that played the main character in it.
Nightbreed. Oh, I have to Google it.
Clive Barker's Nightbreed. But anyways, yeah.
Nightbreed.
Craig Sheffer. Yeah, Craig Sheffer. But anyways, he's right across the way from me.
Be like,
right facing me. And he's got his pants down. And he's looking over and he goes, "Are you having fun at the convention?" And I had already met him.
This is the best fun I've had so far.
Actually helped him and the other cast members of Nightbreed set up their tables. So he recognized me. And I'm going, "Oh yeah, how's things going with you over at the table there, Craig?" And he's going, "Oh, great.
It's coming out great."
He was a little bit drunk at the time because he was having a really bad time.
Oh,
and
poor guy.
So, anyways, I'm sitting there and I've got my pants over my knees, hiding.
Yeah.
Hiding the
business.
The captain.
You gotta hide the business. Yeah. The captain.
Yeah, hiding the business. And Craig goes to get up to pull up his pants, and I get to see the captain.
You did?
And I'm like, oh God! Yeah.
Like, wait, my
I
pinky,
got to see the captain.
Space. Like I was covering, but pinky let me see, and I actually saw the captain.
Yeah, the captains and the soldiers. Anyways, and so he puts up his and leaves, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my fucking God!
What in the world was that?"
And I go, "Oh my God!" and the thing is that later on, I ended up spending the evening with Craig and the Nightbreed cast at the bar there.
Well,
and Craig goes and he says to me, he goes, "Boy, those bathrooms sucked, didn't they?" I go, "Yeah,
literally,
yeah, really did,
literally."
And it was like, "Oh fuck, man."
Literally, if you wanted to suck, it would have happened.
Got a little extra surprise that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shit, that was a hell of an evening for me because I got to have dinner with the cast of Dark Shadows as well.
No, but seriously, like, why no doors? Why no privacy? Like, that to me sounds like prison. And here's a star, and, you're a star in your own right. You wrote Camp Crystal Lake, etc. And you guys are sitting across from each other, making eye contact. How fucking awkward is that? I could not even imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I get freaked out when people are, like, peeking through the crack of my fucking bathroom. Like, could you imagine no door and you're making eye contact with somebody while you're trying to do your
Yeah, I
business?
experienced it, and it's very disturbing.
As well as bowel issues. So
Oh
whether you're
yeah,
sitting for an extended amount of time to make it to a certain port or lying, it causes very, very bad things. So yeah, to me it's
yeah,
insane. Like, there are no doors. You're sitting there face to face with a movie star. Like, hey, how's it
yeah,
going? Everything coming out okay?
yeah, pretty much. Oh my God, I was surprised he didn't ask that. Oh my God, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like every convention that I ever did in the East. I mean, shit, I did the very first Days of the Dead convention,
Oh, I
and I
love
was
that.
sick during that. And then the last two, I did Epic Con and I did Martinsville Horror Fest, and I ended up in the emergency. And
What?
Martinsville
What
Horror
happened?
Fest, I ended up being taken to the emergency by a wrestler wearing an Indian outfit with a full headdress. And they go into the emergency to go get me a wheelchair, and he comes out with the security guard. And I swear to you, the security guard must have been about 90 years old. He's this old guy with a little mustache, and
You know,
he's coming out, and I'm going, how the fuck is this
he
guy
could
going to
look
get me
really
into
old,
a
but maybe he has
wheelchair?
a young soul or something. You know, he could be really old with a young soul and he can judo chop somebody's ass. You never know.
Yeah, well, it
This
ended up
guy could have been the cream of the crop.
the the Indian had to help me, and it was just amazing.
Oh.
But that's my luck when it comes to conventions.
Well,
Oh
that
God.
is good luck. Okay, so if you're looking at the cream of the crop as far as security, etc., and you're in indigenous land and you have some sort of native or indigenous person helping you, that's a blessing.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, that's wonderful memories. Epic Con and that. Except for the fact that when I was there, my dear buddy Derek and the organizer of the place put me right next to the wrestling mat where they were
Where's
having
my chair?
wrestling, and it's like every time someone hit the mat, it was like boom, boom, and
Yeah,
I'm
it kind
going
of
like this.
vibrates, reverberates.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
every time they had a wrestling match, I had to go leave my table and go find some place to. And I ended up hanging out with the Dark Shadows crew and Laura Parker, the one that played Angelique in it.
Dude.
She was just incensed as hell with that. Every time she heard a bang on the thing, she was jumping.
Like, it's my time.
Yeah, and she was just like sitting there going like this and stuff.
Oh.
And I said, and she goes, "Yeah, my head is killing me." And I handed her my ibuprofen that I had in my
Okay, so
coat.
as far as like general wrestling, I'm all good with it. But my first daughter's dad, his brother was in a wheelchair, and they really loved WWE or WWW. And the show came on, and it was like wrestling time. Here's my ex-old man, my first daughter's dad. His brother's in a wheelchair. He's fully functional, and he is slamming this guy all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you not know how to, like, play around and be like, oh man, he's pinning me down and all this other shit? Immediately you're like, wham, slamming him to the ground and taking points. Nope, you're out. what the crack? Like, to me, that was not cool. I don't know. I was just like, when I was there and I was pregnant, and I was just like, this is out of hand. Like, this is insane. Like, I saw it personally.
So they would wrestle in the living room?
Yes. They're watching WWE.
Oh my fucking God.
And yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin and whoever the fuck else you want to watch. That was his favorite. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And
yeah. and they watch the show, and then they'd wrestle while the show was on.
And his brother's like this in his wheelchair, like, yeah, that's cool. And his brother's like, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, let me take you out of this chair and like slam me down and do all this other shit. And I'm like, can you not be cool? Like, this kid only has a certain amount of shit he can do, and you're just like, pin. Yes, I win. I don't know. To me, it was.
Oh God.
And it's just like when we.
Yeah, I know. I've known a few people whose family is like that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, really? You're gonna be like, I'm the winner, and I'm like, could you not let your brother win? Like, your brother's been in his wheelchair for freaking ever. Could you not let him win for fucking once? You gotta be like, damn, I win. I don't know.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah. I took
sad.
wrestling in school. I hated wrestling. And
I
was never a fan of wrestling on television.
No. Like,
I've met a few wrestlers, but it's never been a big thing with me. I'm a boxing fan. I like some. If you're gonna be or cage matches, those things, yeah, definitely. If you're gonna do it, go all out.
Oh, you want to go?
But
let's spin your head around. Let's spin it around. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that stuff I'm fine with. Fake wrestling and that, though, my friend Joshua LaRue would correct. The fact is that it is acting, but you can get hurt. You can get fucked up really bad.
There's slams, there's different things you can do, but if you do it wrong, you can fucking hurt somebody.
And my friend
So I walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? So I walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? Don't you, baby, take a walk before you tell me what to do. Things come and said, streets of these are going to dead end. Listening to waves on windy days, standing by the wall, making sense of it all. So alone in the dark, all alone in the dark. All alone in the dark, it's your lost alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, so alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. I won't let you go.
I got Marlon moves, got that Mola too. You think it's wrong? I could've had too long. Fuck that. Check these Mola moves.
You're not cutting up a new pouch like a Roman genie.
These moves are hot, these locks I got. This power cannot be disputed and it can't be bought.
So you can find me in the studio with all these thoughts. You wanna buy my style, but you can't be what you're not, neighbor.
I got Mola moves, I got that Mola too. You think it's wrong? I could've had too long. Fuck that. Check these Mola moves. You need a Mola too. I can do no wrong. Back of the head on me, we're gonna cut it. Got that motherfucking Mola. You wanna touch it?
Yeah. Next time you come around here with your bitch ass, just remember how my molar makes your hoes pussy drip, drip, drip.
I got Mola moves, I got that Mola too. You think it's wrong? I could've had too long. Fuck that. Check these Mola moves. You need a Mola too. I can get no wrong. Never gonna cut it. I got Mola moves, I got that Mola too. You think it's wrong? I could've had too long. Fuck that. Check these Mola moves. You need a Mola too. I can get no wrong. Never gonna cut it. Never gonna cut it. Never gonna cut it.
Drip, drip,
Mola moves.
just a molar, bitch.
Mola moves.
Drip, drip.
Mola moves. Never gonna cut it.
My driver pulls up in my limousine, ready to take me anywhere I want to be. I say, I want to go. Take me to a college scene. I'd like to go and dance, have drinks, and hunt the perfect day. Yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, after dark, I gave her base because she had the range. I knew she was the one that never could go home again. Plastic light by limo seats. I don't know why I can't control this third again. Yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. No matter what I say, after dark. Really meant to repugnant me. Behind a place with days under thunder. Concerning works or meshed in do. No matter what I say, say it till it's done. Forever, forever after. It doesn't matter what I say. Food and fatal, lacking the hint of conscience. No matter what I say, after dark.
So climb back in your kangaroo.
Speaking for them that don't speak
Yeah,
for
because,
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that they're making such a ruckus that you've got, like Bud Light doing the whole LGBTQ thing. You've
That
got
didn't bother me.
Disney that is falling apart. You got Warner Brothers
Disney.
is falling
Okay,
apart.
so the Little Mermaid was black instead of white. Oh my God, we can't handle this. Bud Light, you're going from the white man going out there and shooting guns and to this transgender woman. Oh, it's so horrible. What are the other ones? Like, everything has been changing and people don't like change is what I'm assuming. Because they're just like, they're in an uproar.
No,
like, you're totally going against what I believe. And it's like, what the hell?
What it is that people wanted them to show respect to the source material. That's pretty much it. A lot of the arguments. And the thing is that Disney years ago did a live action remake of one of their films, and they actually did it right. And the writer of it and director were woke, but you wouldn't be able to tell that it was written by a woke director or writer because it was subtle. It wasn't in your face like the way that they're doing it now. You know what film that was?
It's not in your face.
Tessa, do you know which live action Disney film was that?
Little Mermaid?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast. They did subtle changes to the film and that. Mm-hmm. The problem nowadays is that they want to radically do this and say, oh my God, everything nowadays is about skin color and that, and not important things.
That to me is ridiculous.
And these ones sitting there saying, oh, well, I can't see myself in this movie. Excuse me, when we were young, we watched all these different things. I used to watch blaxploitation.
Yeah.
And I could understand the characters, but it's like, oh no, if they can't be absolutely like me, I can't relate to them. And it's gotten ridiculous. It's gone totally ridiculous. But anyways, I wanted to get back to Barbie though. Because I don't know if I told you about this.
In this plastic is fantastic.
But the director of Barbie is having a complete and utter tizzy fit because there's been a bunch of articles about how men are embracing the Barbie movie because hidden in the Barbie movie is a positive message to men. Because the story is about how Ken goes to the real world and he sees how men are treated in the real world, because the Kens are treated like slaves in the Barbie world, and they don't even have their own homes. They sleep out next to the pool.
Yes.
with
And I
the
have to
Barbies,
tell you-
and their entire meaning to life is just to sit there and compliment the Barbies. But when Ken goes to the real world, he learns about how men and women can be equal, and he brings that back to Barbie world.
There's that
and
song
at the end,
when he was doing like the Kinergy, and he's like, I got the Kinergy. He's doing the Kinergy song, and yes, I picked that one.
and the thing is that he, at the end, the Barbies and the Kens become equals.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Is that
director,
possible?
they go this, they see these, she saw this article, and she's like, no, that isn't my movie. I didn't mean it that way. This was not positive for men. This was woke. This is for women. Men are pigs and all this. And it's like,
this is not possible.
No. And it's like, men, these articles are talking about how the Barbie movie is such a parody on woke, and the woke ones are screaming about how the Barbie movie is not, is bad for wokeness. Did you happen to hear that, Tessa?
Mm-hmm. I heard it.
Yeah, that is bad for wokeness.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here laughing my ass off on
the
that.
wokeness. Do not break the wokeness, because if you break the wokeness, it's going to break us up the cracks of our asses. So please do not break the wokeness.
Yeah, well, I mean, seriously, Tessa, you're a Barbie.
I'm telling you.
You're officially a Barbie.
Let's go party.
Yeah, you got your own commercial, and you're a Barbie.
Okay, so you said I was a fat ass Barbie. I'm like, I was watching that, and I'm like, how does he see me in this person? I'm trying to figure it out.
It's the face.
I didn't know. It was like an
It was
extra
the
large
face.
Barbie.
She had
I'm like,
the
I don't even
the
connect with this
features.
shit. I don't know. I did not connect with her. I'm just like, how does he
You
see me
didn't
as her?
connect with her?
No.
Oh my God. I love that. I'm sitting there going, oh my God,
And then
it's
she's
Tessa.
like,
It's got the
"Ah!"
and
and
she's
like
got the
screaming
same
at the
eyebrows
lizard
as
and-
you, has the same eyes.
Okay, same eyes,
And the
same
mouth.
eyebrows, but what about the body and shit? Like, I was just like,
Oh, well, two different people.
I know, it's like,
That don't
from
matter.
here on up, it's me, here on down, it's not, and to me, it's just like, what the fuck? But still, I was just like, I watched it, I'm like,
Oh, God.
let's go, Barbie, let's go, Barbie.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's a cute little parody of you.
You know what? I was just like, I saw it, and I was like, okay, maybe the cowboy hat or something?
Yeah, cowboy hat and stuff. The cowboy
That's
hat.
the only
and
thing
the-
I can see, because otherwise she's like,
and the sense of humor.
okay,
The sense of humor.
I can see that too. Cowboy hat,
It's the sense of humor and the vibe that you get.
Yeah,
It's a test
cowboy
of
hat,
vibe.
sense of humor. Otherwise, the body does not count. Because I'm like, I'm watching her. I'm like, fuck is this? And I'm like, I'm not against you. Like, I'm pushing for you. And I'm like, let's go, Barbie. Let's go party. But I was just like, who is this me as a Barbie? No, because I don't know. I even showed my daughter. I was like, do you see anything? She's like, no, see, I don't see. And I'm like,
Oh my God. Anyways, yeah, well, I mean, a few people have said stuff to me saying that I look like Alfred Hitchcock, and I don't look like Alfred Hitchcock.
agree. Okay, so if you were to stand like this to your side and be like, dun, 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 Would you agree not that you look like Alfred Hitchcock if you were to the side?
No,
I haven't seen you. Can you do
the
the
person that I
Can you do
that
the
I
to the
always
side
see.
thing that I haven't seen yet? But can you go like to the side where I can see? Because
Nope.
pretty close.
It's
not
more of a
exactly,
William Shatner.
Not exactly, but pretty close.
Yeah, more of a William Shatner, Robbie Coltrane, or Orson Welles.
Yeah,
that's
close.
the three that I see when I look in the mirror.
Pretty close, but not so close.
Yeah, exactly. But my associate, Mr. Hyland, keeps calling me not Orson Welles, calls me Alfred Hitchcock, and I go, nope, sorry, I am not Alfred Hitchcock. I even did a poster for Bloodbath Theater when I did the Alfred Hitchcock tribute show, and I did the Alfred Hitchcock. I would love to have
one of those signed by you. Yeah, everybody else was like, I saw the poster. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I didn't see it either. You know, I did a full Alfred Hitchcock face. Oh
my God, look at it. Like, that's pretty awesome.
But, you know, I mean, there was as I said, with the Barbie commercial, that was a Tessa feel to it. I could see you doing a parody like that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I could see you doing a parody like that. I mean, I bet you next week you're going to be wearing pink and you're going to have a pink hat on.
Okay, so my two oldest daughters went and watched Barbie. And I missed like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, so for the girl I'm caretaking for, I will take her. And then I'll take my youngest daughter, who is like 8 years old now. So yeah, it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, it's like buzzing my face. I can feel it. I'm just like, this is freaking weird. Barbie is gonna go on. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Oh my God, Tessa! I also got another Barbie video for you that you'll love. It's goth couple goes to see Barbie on YouTube. Yes.
I would love that.
Yeah, it is funny as shit. These are two goth people that I know, and they went to see Barbie and they did a video on it, and their theater had the Barbie box, and they took pictures of each other with the Barbie. And they went to the they looked at the souvenirs for Barbie, and they're going, oh, lots of pink. So it's funny as hell watching that one.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, these people are like, oh, well, they're doing this whole Barbie thing, so let's not fit into that. Let's just do our own general thing. And they're like, no, but seriously, I had this and this and this happen. I had, like, some sort of poltergeist. I had this and this and that, yada, yada. Show my shit. And they're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I just can't be bothered by that right now.
Today we're talking about the weird, twisted world of Barbie.
That's what I'm saying. Twisted Sister, you want to come on?
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to have Dee Schneider on. I love Dee. He's
That'd
cool.
be amazeballs.
But anyways, yeah. So, you know, and the thing is that, you know, the ladies are absolutely loving the Barbie movie. I mean, shit, that's their past. That's their childhoods. They love Barbie.
I'm telling you.
So why? So it's all good. It's great.
No, there's like
And the thing is that it was one of the few hits
Dying.
of this summer. It was one of the few hits. So that is all good. That and Oppenheimer. So I would never go see Barbie and Oppenheimer together. Give me a break. Oppenheimer is too serious, and I don't want to watch a movie after seeing Barbie with all that glitz, seeing a movie about the atomic bomb. What do you say, Tessa?
Perverted. I think it's pretty fucking perverted, and you should not watch it. You should be
watching the creation of the atomic bomb?
No, you should say, this is for a later date. Yes, this is showing, but this is not accurate. And then later on you see it, and yes, the atomic bomb is going to blast off. And it goes repeatedly, bam, 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 bam. Guess what? There's other people that did that too, and it was much larger. I'm telling you, Will, these people have been cutting up our earth for a long time. A very, very, very long time. And it's just now registering for certain people. They're like, oh, well, look, here is this and this and that and that. Guess what? It happened a long time before. I'm telling you, this is not unintentional. This is intentional. That's just what I felt. Like, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to do bam, 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 this, and that. Oh, nothing happened. And everybody's like I had before, like, oh, my hair is flying back. It's pretty amazing. No, it's not pretty amazing. It's, this shit is happening. Bam, 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 pop, pop, pop. Ring. All these things going off, all these things flying up. Everybody's just like, No, these things are fucking amazing.
Yep.
What am I missing? Like, to me, it's like, all this shit is happening. I don't know, I feel like things are changing. I don't know if you've seen it or felt it. Are these things changing?
Oh, everything's changing.
Exactly. Like, it's supposed to be like this and this and that, blah, blah. I'm like, this is why I'm not producing right now. Like, things are changing. Things are changing. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Like, seriously, dude. William.
Mm-hmm.
Is it changing or not? Like I'm saying, like, I've been looking at it, keeping track of it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this shit is changing. This shit is not changing. What the fuck is this? What? I don't know. To me, it's so strange because it's alien. Generally, it would be the same thing we're used to. We're just like, chunk, 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 chunk. Seriously, William. Like, I don't know. Do you feel like it's different? It's like, general.
Oh, everything. Oh, everything's different. I mean, shit. It's really twisted right now. It's really weird. Everything's weird. I don't even feel like I'm in the same world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The way everything is. So with me, I just do what I do, and just hide. Keep away from it as much as I can. So, anyways, do we still have enough time for me to do a little reading for you?
Oh shit! Let me look real quick.
Hmm?
Yeah, we have about 40 minutes and 5 seconds left. If you'd like to read.
Oh,
So
cool!
go ahead.
I'll do a little reading for you, and I can get your opinion on this piece. What I'm going to read for you is the beginning of my story. Remember, I told you about the one about the ghost pit bull?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing the story of Nobby the pit bull. Probably not going to get to the Nobby part, but I'll let the fans, once I have the story done, it'll be coming out on my website, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll be putting out links to it. So, anyways, here we go.
All right.
I'm just grabbing my glasses because I am losing my sight, believe it or not.
Hmm.
And I'll get down here, get close. Alrighty. The Dog Day, a Devlin Dark Tale by moi. Alrighty, here we go. Even God's chosen demon fighter once in a while gets time off. Unfortunately, in this case, it came with my dear brother and driver Damon getting the crap kicked out of him by some white supremacist mohawk hairdo assholes and their political views obviously by the neo-Nazi tattoos that covered their arms and necks, who had issues with his choice of sex partners. Anyways, he ended up in the hospital with casts on both his arms and legs. Also, he was drinking out of a straw since the rotten fucks broke his jaw as well. The poor bugger looked a real mess. Thank God that the Catholic Church was paying the bills. That was actually the amusing part, given their long-standing views on gay people. It's actually nice to have an open-minded pope for once. Yeah?
Dude, I'm telling you. I just cut off like 6 inches of my hair, and I can't tell you how freeing this feels. It feels super awesome.
Alrighty. So, I found myself stuck in a rather quaint, little Bible Belt town, which was laughingly called Hope, until my dear brother was recovered enough to drive us the hell out. If I could have, I'd have driven us both out once he was out of the hospital, but neither one of us wanted to risk having me behind the wheel. Oh no, that would be a definite traffic accident waiting to happen. I managed to find me an affordable apartment with what could be roughly described as having a functioning kitchen and workable bathroom at the Imperial Palace Apartments. Unlike its palatial name, this luxury lodging was an old, worn-looking brick building in the middle of the ghetto part of town. God bless you, Archbishop Kramer. I never said the church was particularly generous
God
when it
bless
came
you,
to
and you and you
food
and
and
you.
lodgings for their warriors in the battle against hell. For the most part, it was creaky, lumpy beds and dollar menu meals. What can I say is with most jobs, it's the perks that count in the end. Not with this job.
Right?
Hold
Oh,
on. Of course, I had to realize that I needed a bit of suffering to help cleanse my eternal soul after the tragic events 18 years ago at the LaRue house. Really
very
can't
bad,
ever
very bad
forget
as far
that.
as the room house goes.
One real advantage of the situation was that my annoying guardian angel, Vernon, kept a rather low profile during this time. What a blessing. Of course, he did make a short appearance to put in his 2 cents after I got here. It was a couple of days after I arrived when I was numbing myself at Amy's bar, which was conveniently at the end of the block near where I was staying. The winged mood killer showed up beside me and startled the shit out of me. Hold on. Okay. Shouldn't you be with your brother? The bald-headed beanpole in the white suit and tie asked in his usual monotone. Giving him moral support or whatever you humans do in situations like this. Like he gave a flying fuck. I let out a frustrated sigh. All I would be doing is sitting around being bored and watching TV because they got him so drugged up he wouldn't even know I was there. I'd rather get myself medicated here instead. I downed my shot and motioned to the muscular, tattooed, dark-haired goth lady bartender for a refill. She came over and refilled my shot glass without questioning me about talking to myself, given that Vernon was invisible or was visible only to me.
He's right there in bed right now. Wake him
But
up.
I figured Amy had probably seen everything, given her career choice, and could give a shit. The smirk on her black lips spoke volumes.
I am telling you, Vernon.
Don't you have something better to do than bug me? I asked Vernon, releasing another sigh. After all, with Damon down, we're off the clock. Why don't you go find yourself a nice, sexy, emotionless lady angel with a matching stick up her backside and do some cloud seeding or whatever you angels do for fun. Angels don't have fun, he told me with a bland look on his face. Knowing you as long as I have no doubt about that, I admitted before downing my shot yet again.
I'm telling you, he comes out when he's mentioned, he's like, hey, what's happening?
And human, we are never off the clock because the adversary never is. I suggest you remain observant and on guard at all times. Evil can appear anywhere and at any time. With that, Vernon disappeared, and I motioned to my goth angel for another refill. I was so thankful to be rid of him. Amusingly, the spirit of my former girlfriend, Carol, who was stuck being my spiritual guide and representative of the trapped spirits of the paranormal team I massacred while demon possessed, would periodically show up to check up on me. Most of the time, this would occur when I was sitting at the bar in the middle of one of my drinking sessions, which was a daily thing. She would just stare at me with disapproval, shake her head, and thankfully simply fade away. I didn't need her lecturing me as well as Vernon. A couple of times when she would do this, I had the urge to go off on her and remind her in no uncertain terms that it wasn't my fault we were stuck in this junk heap of a town, but I knew that doing this would only make me look like a complete nutcase to the other drunks that filled the bar. But honestly, from the quality of the regulars, I doubted they'd even notice. Still, I remained silent. I didn't want to get Carol any more pissed at me than she already was. I believe I kind of owe it to her because, after all, she died by hanging herself because the demon possessing me convinced her that he would release me if she sacrificed herself. Unfortunately, she had forgotten that you never make deals with demons because they never keep their word. Thankfully, her death gave me the strength to kick the demon out of my body on my own. But that is another story to tell at another time.
It's like, come celebrate, come celebrate, come celebrate me.
To my surprise, while having one of my drinking binges, I happened to run into a couple of sort of buddies I knew from my college days. Wayne and Greg were just like two extremes when it came to rejects from the social group. Wayne had been, in fact, my number one drug connection in college. He was a long, dark-haired, bearded dude who wore the same leather jacket with band pins he wore in college. Amusingly, he was still a drug dealer, but now he had himself a nice flower child girlfriend, Hope, and a very disturbing male spawn he named Angus after the guy from AC/DC. When I say this kid was disturbing, I mean disturbing. Wayne's kid loved to sit and stare at people intently with those empty, soulless eyes he had. Oh, yeah, that red-haired, freckle-faced nightmare loved to make me uncomfortable.
Definitely.
Seriously, this kid royally disturbed the hell out of me, and I fight demons for a living. If there was ever a kid that was a potential son of Satan, this was the one. Of course, because of my longtime friendship with Wayne, I had to keep my mouth shut about the situation and tolerate it. Isn't friendship grand? Greg, on the other hand, was on the opposite end of the weird loser spectrum. He was a 300-pound balding guy with heavy black-rimmed glasses and a love of either orange or red sweaters, even during summer. To put it simply, the tubby bastard was the human equivalent of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh?
He even had a habit of saying bother on occasion, like the
Oh,
fat orange
bother.
teddy bear.
Oh, bother.
He was a mama's boy who currently lived with his old mother and took care of her. He'd actually had to leave college before getting his degree when her health failed her. Supposedly, his mom started having attacks and would pass out. So in the end, he was stuck being her servant. Even 25 years later. Poor asshole.
Not with me, but with other people, it happens a lot. And then when I try to do this with my kids, they're like, who do you think I am? Like, I'm your servant or something. I'm like, ain't trying to fight with you.
Okay. Greg's leaving college was no loss to the female population of Blackwood College because they didn't have to deal with Greg and his constant trying to pick up any skirt within arm's reach. Amusingly, even the unattractive ones were not immune to Greg's attention. The tubby fuck lived under the delusion he was some kind of ladies' man. The ladies, of course, would strongly disagree with this. This had been material for much amusement among me and my friends in college. The problem was Greg had never learned his lesson and was now the terror of Amy's bar as well. Ladies beware. Of course, since we were the closest thing he had to friends, except for his dear old mom, when things got out of hand, we had to step in and save the delusional idiot. Lucky us. That's right, Wayne and I are the innocent fools that end up getting pounded and thrown around by disgruntled boyfriends and even girlfriends of any female Greg happens to take a fancy to. Isn't friendship grand? Anyways, it was exactly 3.5 weeks into my captivity in Hope that the real excitement happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think?
Well, there's
so far
a lot to think about as far as all this shit goes.
Yeah?
What about Hawaii? Have you thought about that too? Where are the children?
Hawaii?
Not other people are taken account of, but where the fuck are the children?
Oh, you mean in the Hawaiian thing?
Lahai?
Yeah, Wahai. Mahai. Yeah, that's something. The whole Mahai thing. One nice thing is
like,
Dwayne Johnson is helping out
like,
there.
Oh, well, they got sent from this school to this other school, and so many different people are passed on there, but where the fuck is everybody? And that's the question. Where are the children?
Oh, the children of Mahai?
China.
I don't, the thing is that if I recall, the families are all together. At least the families that survive.
I've seen
the
one
living
fucking
children.
family, and one family, she's like, oh, I'm so afraid. Oh, I was at work, and my kids got a hold of me, and they're like, hey, Mom, I'm doing this, and that, blah, blah, blah. The kids did their own certain thing, and then she finally came in, and she found them. They all came together. That was amazing. What about everybody else? Where the fuck are all the other children? And that very same day when this shit happened, when the shit happened, kids were stuck at home. Their parents were working. They were home alone. Where
Honestly,
are
I thought it happened at night when people were sleeping, because a lot of the people
the
died in their sleep.
Mm-hmm. Where are the children? And it's like, oh, well, we're missing 200 something people. Oh, well, in fact, there's 2,000 something people. You have 2,000 something people there, ready to equate. Hey, I'm here. Here I am. What about the other 1,800? Where the frack are the children? It's insane.
I have no idea.
I know,
the
and it's
thing is
crazy
that
to
they're
me.
still trying to find bodies.
Exactly, and a lot of places, like, it's like instead of being burned, it's at the temperature where you are being fragmented. Like, you're burnt down to ashes, so you're being disintegrated. What is it called?
Cremated.
Cremated. So you're being cremated.
Yeah.
That's
that's a problem.
Well, my father, he did not want to be cremated. He wanted to be buried, but I'm like, sorry, Dad, I'm going to cremate you. But then all this other stuff that's been happening in Hawaii, etc., people are not generally doing it like, hey, I decided I'm going to be cremated. Guess what? The fires came and they were cremated anyways. Because it was so high of a temperature. Can't fight it. Like, this is actually happening. I don't know, to me that was intense.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was weird. In some areas they were cremated, in other ones they were actually still intact.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this story about this one woman who came back to the remains of her house and found her husband and the family dog still laying in the bedroom. They were burned down to skeletons, but they were there.
Well, were they there or was it ashes? I don't know. There's a lot of people that have been.
Well, there was ashes, but there was also bone. So the skin and everything was burned away, and there was skeletal remains.
Right.
But it was different in all different areas, and it's like weird the way that this happened. It was very off and on. It was like, how you deal with tornadoes, how it was worse in certain areas than it was other areas. That was always interesting.
Right.
About it.
It's hard to say because a lot of people are thrown into things that they're not used to. And the other people are like, oh, this is this is what I'm supposed to do. So that's pretty intriguing. But.
And were you aware, Tessa, that only half of the island got burned?
No,
the other half
serious,
of the island, the part of the island that was hotels, they still had water and they were still fine. Whereas people in the other part, that one guy didn't even put out the fire alarm.
The governor, the mayor, whatever the fuck, like, these guys are not doing the job they're supposed to fucking do. But
no, and the emergency guy, he basically he goes, I quit, and and he says, I don't, I think that I did right not turning on the emergency alarm. And it's like, you asshole. I couldn't believe that shit. Those people, a lot of those people could have been saved if you just hit that alarm. Oh no, they would have ran into the fire. Oh, bullshit.
No, I'm saying thank you so much to everyone on We Are Paradox Media's living on the Rockies. It was a pleasure having you tonight. And thank you to all of our friends on We Are Paradox Media's Facebook, Keeping All Radio, Twitter, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, wherever the frack you are, beyond the Omniverse tonight. It's been a wonderful time. And I can't wait to do it again tomorrow night, next week. We Are Paradox Media, joined by special guest, Storytime, me and me, TessaTNT. Hopefully you're here too when that comes up. Don't forget, we are all in this together. Together we can make the world a little better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media because there is no us. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But the other thing I had was, until next time, nighty night, love and light. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and week, and I will see you back here same time, same crazy place.
Yeah. And all I gotta say is keep America strong, watch horror films, and check out my website, WCP Enterprises Publishing House.weebly.com.
So how do you feel about all that stuff? Like, are you open and awakened and like everybody like look to me for this, or what are your actual feelings?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yes. Talking to you.
Oh, I'm disgusted with the whole Hawaiian thing. I think the people did wrong, and I honestly think that emergency guy he got paid off.
Are you talking about the governor or the mayor? Like, seriously, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And he has this like background guy, and he's like, oh well, you want to ask that question? Maybe we should do this, something else than this. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah,
It's a simple question. Where are the children? Where are the children? They're like, oh no, we can't have this. We can't have this question. We have to leave now. Have you heard me answer for that?
One thing
because I haven't
that I noticed is that it ended up taking President Biden stepping in because all these investors and stuff were going to buy out the people, the survivors, and try to take their land. And the thing is that those people are native Hawaiians, and it's bullshit. That they wanted to take away their historical land. They wanted to pay them off. These people want to come back, and they want to bring back their land.
Seriously. And all these people are being driven out. And there was even one person who was like, he's on his way to a funeral, and he's like, oh, well, I see an officer over here, so I'm going to pull over really quick, and I'm going to ask, what is the law that you have where I can't pull over here and take pictures and make note, blah, blah, blah? What is your badge number? What is your name? What is this? What is that? She would not answer anything. She just walked away all, fucking cocky and pissed off. She didn't answer shit. Who the fuck are you? You wouldn't answer. And then she called over 3 different other guys. They came through. Finally, there was answers, but I think it was the last 2. So the first chick, no answers. The one that was there originally. And she got him for not having a front plate on his vehicle. Guess what? She didn't have one on hers either. Who the fuck are you? Yeah, she didn't have it. And she's like, oh, well, you're going to get, asking questions as far as the only reason he pulled over, he was on the way to a funeral. And he pulled over to be like, what is the law? What is the status of this law that you're sitting here and we can't pull over, we can't take pictures, we can't do film, we can't do this and this and that and that. Would not answer. And then he's like, what's your badge number? What's this? What's this? What's that? What's that? He had a film, open film, which showed the front of her vehicle. No fucking plate. Guess what? He got a ticket for no plate. He had no plate. Neither did she. So how the heck can she do that? And I don't know, to me it's pretty weird. She has no plate, but at the same time she's saying he has no plate. So he has no plate, and I don't know, it's super weird. And as far as I've seen, as far as the government goes, as far as equality goes, etc., shit is happening in Lahaina. Shit is happening all over Hawaii. There's different jurisdictions, different places you can be. This is not okay. The main question is, where are the children? They go across everything else. Oh, we have this and this and that and blah, blah. Where the fuck are the children? So I've seen two out of thousands of children. Where are the children? Have you seen anything as far as that goes?
No, not really. They've been keeping a very, the narrative that they've been presenting has been a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
They've been more busy talking about Oprah and Wayne Johnson coming to help than actually dealing with what the regular people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, they had all this on Biden coming over there and that, but you're not really seeing too much. What I'm seeing is that the entire island, that portion of the island, is nothing but ash. That there's no trees left or anything.
Disintegrated.
Yeah, it's pretty much disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
And, people have been moved over to the mainland and put in emergency shelter areas, and they're not really getting any idea of what's going to happen with their own properties and that.
No, seriously.
One nice thing is that Biden will not let anyone buy out their properties or that. He's trying to get people to come in and actually start work and try to help fix the area and give them a home again, because as they said, this is their tribal and their cultural land, and they're connected to it, and they don't want to leave. they want to come back and resettle. So I don't know what's
No,
going to
and
happen with
seriously,
that.
like, okay, look at Joe Biden. William, have you
Mm-hmm.
really looked at Joe Biden and been like, oh, well, that's the same guy, or is it a different guy? So we've heard different theories as far as this is the original Joe Biden. This one's a little different. Like, not only is his face different, but his earlobes are connected differently. Do you really believe that this is the same Joe Biden?
I have no idea because I haven't heard that.
Yeah, before he had his
And
earlobes like separated, and then second time they were connected. People didn't know, people didn't care, and it's weird. Sorry. But it's insane because there was the Joe Biden originally that was there, and he had his earlobe. So, okay, let me show you. His earlobes went around and up. So it was like a little loop in his earbud, right? So there's his earlobe. It's like this. The other Joe Biden is like this. This was like this. The other one is like this. I'm telling you, there's clones. Never would have believed it before, but there's freaking clones. And they're taking over. And the last like 2 to 3 years is clone Biden instead of Joe Biden. Yes, Joe Biden originally, he's a fucking dumbass, okay? So don't really listen to a lot of what the fuck he says. But then Schmo Biden, you know, make believe Joe Biden. It's weird, like it's the same
I'm more worried about reptile Trump.
Oh, guess what? Reptile Trump, he's going through all these phases of court and shit. He ain't even busy enough with this electoral progress, but Joe Biden, I'm telling you what, brother, Will.
Yeah, well, actually, Biden isn't really doing much in regard to the election either.
Did you see
Of
that
course, he's
one
been
guy?
busy.
Okay, so he's like the head of the reps, or I want to say recognizance, but there's diplomats and there's what? Anyways, they're like, hey, how's it gonna go in 2026? Are you gonna run again? He's like, I can't even think about that shit. He's like, no. He did not even want to think about it. Did you see how he froze up? He's just like,
Yeah, well, the reason why is because he's having health problems and
I'm
his
telling you.
memory's problem.
Not only did he have a stroke, but he don't even want to talk about that shit. He's just like, no, I'm good.
Nope.
Yeah.
But we've had presidents in wheelchairs before.
Yeah, but it's like everybody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna be on the stasis. It's gonna go on forever, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, what about your election for 2026? And he's like, no. Otherwise, it's all good. But he's just like, what? I have to do that? No, you don't. But these other people over here might want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, yeah, he didn't want to do it. But everybody else was like, let's go. To me, it was kind of funny. What? But yeah, that one guy